The NBA All-Star Game is changing its format, and I am not happy about it. Anyway, my name is Latta, and, the NBA here has decided to go away from their traditional format. This comes as the latest change over the last kind of decade or so that has seen the All-Star Game limp to these lowly conditions that require something drastic like this, apparently. We got a 50 or 60 year history of the NBA, of East versus West, where guys competed, and had fun. They would entertain in the first half, and then in the fourth quarter it would get serious. And I grew up watching that, and is a little bit of this, the old guy in me talking, sure. But I guarantee the NBA that I grew up on is a lot more enjoyable than whatever this is turning into. The new format in 2025 that's going to start now is expected to have 2 semifinal games played up to 40 points, with the winners advancing to a final matchup that is a 25-point game. Now, I bet you're wondering, multiple games, what's going on here? So what they're going to do is basically have 4 different teams of All-Stars. They're going to have 3 basically All-Star teams and 1, team that comes from the winner of the Rising Stars rookies versus sophomore game. It'll be team 1 versus team 3, 2 versus 4. Those would make up your 2 games of 40. And then the final game would be between, whoever is left standing after that, up to 25. I think this is a horrific embarrassment, and I flat out reject this. This is the same game that was named after the late, great Kobe Bryant, my favorite player to ever live. And man, when he was in the All-Star game, he competed. When he was in the All-Star game, he came out there and tried to make it mean something. When he was in the All-Star game, he played defense. When he was in the All-Star game, he showed up when other people didn't. He won more All-Star game MVP trophies than anyone except Bob Pettit. They're both tied with 4. Who can forget 2002 Philadelphia? Who can forget 2003 Atlanta with Michael Jordan's last All-Star game when it was super competitive out there? Who can forget 2011, the All-Star game in LA, where Kobe dropped 37 and 14? Who can forget the 98 All-Star game, Jordan versus Kobe, and all the other great All-Star games like 1993, 1988, 1987. And I know people will say it's just an All-Star game, but things are as serious as you make them. And I think that the All-Star game was always a great way to kind of measure the league hierarchy. Not in a way to, it matters who won between the East and the West, and we would think they're the better person. We could see things like, who, when the game got tight, are they going to throw the ball to? Who were the people that were going to be in the games? Who was riding the bench? Who would step up and challenge someone? Who would be like, nah, I want them, and I want to guard them on the other way up the court? It's home to moments like Magic Johnson coming back for the one All-Star game in 1992 and that three-pointer that he hits in Isaiah Thomas's face and fades away. And that's like a huge seminal moment of the league. What we're getting here is a result of the NBA commissioner Adam Silver being absolutely spineless and telling these players who really want to get paid more for the All-Star game, but they can't say that out loud because they'll get killed for it. And in under protest of them not getting paid more, they have turned the All-Star game into trash, into just launching three-pointers, 200-point games, just no semblance of competition whatsoever. And it sucks. This is unacceptable. But unfortunately, I guess we have to accept it now. We have to see them show up and invent a new format on the fly. We got to the point where a special three-point shootout between Steph Curry and Sabrina Ionescu hijacked and owned NBA All-Star Weekend last year. And I'll tell you, if Klay Thompson and Caitlin Clark come, the same thing is going to happen. I think this is a lack of competitiveness. I think this is a generational divide from the older players in the league and the guys that are left that are the older players in the league now that allowed it to be this way, and the people that came before them. The young guys, they don't know any better. They don't care about trying an all-star game. Why? Because the people above them didn't care about trying an all-star games. I think this is the result of perhaps like a 10-year fall for the all-star game, probably starting in 2015 forward. That has just been, just nothing. Like, you get Kobe's last all-star game. You get the all-star game in the aftermath of Kobe Bryant's death. And what do you have besides that? You got the NBA 75 thing that happened in Cleveland. And then you got them picking pickup teams and no more East versus West and just destroying the fabrics and the traditions that this league was built on. It hasn't made anything better because you went back to East versus West last year and you shouldn't have gone away from it. But now, here lies the NBA All-Star Game, buried and dead in Indianapolis in 2024, earlier this year. They literally have killed the format of the All-Star Game. I don't understand how the answer to what was already pickup basketball is more pickup basketball, Kevin O'Connor. I was befuddled when I was seeing NBA media start coming out here and saying, oh, yeah, we're in favor of this. Who do you have to curry favor with and keep favor not to call this what it is? Everyone's just so worried about possibly getting injured in one game. Newsflash, you can get injured anywhere. You can get injured in training camp. I don't want to hear anything about it having to be this way. They chose this. And when the All-Star game comes and people care even less than they do, we'll come back. We'll dig it back up. We'll bring it back to the light. And then we will unveil the answer, which I'll just give you right now, to what it would take to fix the NBA All-Star Game. Players would just have to try and care, and you can avoid all of this. My name is Rich Latta. This is One Lifetime. Normally, I like to keep these videos positive. I like to keep these videos upbeat. I like to tell you how much I enjoy the players that play in these leagues. I'm not down with this. And a lot of you aren't either. Holla at me in the comment section. Peace.